Oh, okay, thanks very much, Ms. Maputa, for assisting in streaming our meeting. Can you kindly mute yourself now? Oh, thank you. Members, good morning once more, and also morning to members of management, support staff, and all those who have joined us for this meeting from different platforms. You are all welcome to the REC meeting number 390 held via Microsoft Teams. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce members of the REC, and I will allow them to just greet everyone that has joined us for this meeting. I would like to first start with Ms. Maseti, who is a member of the REC, chairperson of the Pipe Gas Subcommittee, and chairperson of the Electricity Subcommittee, and a member of other committees, subcommittees and committees of the Energy Regulator. Ms. Maseti.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, members. And I would like to also convey my greetings to the members of the public that are following this meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Ms. Maseti. I'll proceed to Mr. Mkiza, who is a member of this particular committee, the REC, chairperson of the Petroleum Pipelines Subcommittee, a member of other subcommittees of the Energy Regulator, as well as its committees. Over to you, Mr. Mkiza.
Greetings to you, Chairperson, and everyone attending this meeting, as well as the members of the public that are following us through the various live streaming platforms. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We will then move on to the adoption of the agenda. For the open session, we only have one item that is for discussion today. Members, by show of hand, can I get an indication that you do adopt the agenda as presented to us? Mr. Mkize, I also support the adoption of the agenda. We note the abstention from Ms. Maseti on one item that is on the closed session. We'll then proceed with the one item that is for the open session, and this item relates to the regulation of the pipe gas industry, and it is an item on the Sasol Gas Pty Ltd's full year's regulatory financial reports for the period starting 1 July 2023 to the 30th of June 2024, and it is before us for noting. Babu Numalo, if you can guide us on this particular item, we appreciate it. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Chairperson, and morning and greetings to members and colleagues. Chair, what we are presenting here today is Sasol Gas's regulatory reporting reports or financial reports, as you indicated. Chair, this is submitted in terms of the regulatory reporting manuals, which really prescribe accounting procedures and requirements that are necessary to ensure uniformity and consistency around the elements that are required for tariff purposes. Chair, we received this in December, on the 11th December last year, and Sasol Gas had obtained an extension with regard to the deadline for submission of this from October to December. The reports were then assessed and checked in line with the criteria that are set out in the RRMs, and those are listed under paragraph 4.7. They include the administrative procedures required for compliance with RRM, and those are mainly in volume 1 of the RRMs. And we also looked at the evaluation of the auditor's report on the regulatory financial reports. And what we noticed there, Chairperson, which is important, is that the auditors actually did confirm that indeed the licensee has prepared and presented the financial reports in line with the requirements of the regulatory reporting manuals. We also looked at the volumes that were active in the period, and we noted in this regard that there was an increase of about 4% in the volumes, and that was mainly in the Gauteng transmission networks, which tends to be really the busiest of the three network that are entailed with regard to the transmission of gas. Chair, and lastly, then we look at the comparison of just the estimates that were used at tariff application stage with the actuals, and that's where we noticed that preliminarily there may be a clawback, but as we've indicated in the past, that usually then becomes, the subject of an application when the licensee actually applies for its next tariff. So that will be considered there following audits and all other processes that are going to be applicable. So lastly, then we looked at the financial ratios, which really proved that the licensee is actually, in a healthy state with regard to its businesses. And these are supported by really a profitable and financially supported supported by healthy margins. And that show a debt-free funding structure, basically essentially meaning that the licensee does not borrow. It relies on internal funding because it's got financial capacity to do so. The ratios then do confirm that the licensee's financial position is actually appropriate and correct. Chair, the reports then comply with the requirements of the RRMs, and I think it is important to just indicate lastly that the auditors have confirmed indeed that the reports are prepared and were submitted to the regulator in compliance with the requirements of the regulatory reporting manuals. Chair, and then I think the recommendations are set out on paragraph 13. This is on page 24. This is really for noting of the report pertaining to the annual financial reports by Social Gas. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Numalo. Members, do you have any questions, issues of clarity, or points of enhancements on the report? If you do, please raise your hand. I'll recognize you. I do not see any hand from the members. It seems the submission is fairly clear, and I also do not have any inputs to make in terms of the agenda. Members, I'll then take you to the recommendations as indicated. They are on paragraph 13, page 24. And the first one is that the REC is requested to note the Sasol Gas Regulatory Financial Reports for the period 1 July 2023 to 30 June 2024, which are submitted in compliance with the requirements of the RRM's Volume 1, and that report is attached as Annexure C. There are other annexures that have been attached to the document. There's Annexure A on administrative matters, and Annexure B, which gives the ratio analysis, and Annexure C, which is the full report or full financial year regulatory report. On that note, members, can I get an indication that you approve the recommendations? Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Or rather, you note, do note, I note that Ms. Maseti and Mr. Mkhize are supporting the noting. Thank you very much, members. And I think we've come to the end of the open session of our meeting. I will then request us to proceed to the closed session and consider the items that are under that particular section. On that note, Ms. Maputa, can you assist in stopping the streaming? But let me thank everyone that have joined us on the different platform for this particular open session of our REC meeting number 390.